Uganda is often referred to as the Pearl of Africa. It is here the Nile River finds its source at Lake Victoria. But many believe Uganda is also the birthplace of one of the world's most devastating plagues, AIDS. Here, 10% of the people are either infected with HIV or, like Simon Sababi, dying from AIDS. But the people of Uganda offer Africa hope. Even though Ugandans are dying from AIDS, unlike the rest of Africa, they are talking about it.
In Uganda, it has been publicized for quite a long time.
In traditional African culture, sex is considered a taboo subject. But along the rutted dirt road to the nation's capital of Kampala, AIDS awareness billboards stand, and the government openly advocates condoms, something that offends many Ugandans in this largely Catholic region. But the message may be working. According to the UN, there's been a 29% drop in HIV among pregnant women.
In war, at least you think you are more intelligent. You think you're brighter, you think you're better. But in HIV, I did not see how I was going to fight it.
Father, husband, and major in the Ugandan military, Rubaramira Ruranga is also trying to shatter the silence. When he first tested positive for HIV in 1986, the diagnosis was considered a death sentence.
You had it, you're supposed to die. And you're supposed to die in the most miserable way.
But times and attitudes have changed in Uganda. After reading articles about AIDS and HIV treatment in developed countries, the major slowly realized his life was far from over.
I said, no way, I'm not going to die.
He now teaches others how to live positively with HIV from his home just outside Kampala. But over 90% of people live in rural communities. Most of them don't have cars or any form of transportation. So how is the AIDS message spreading through Uganda? Well, they're getting creative. Drama groups like this one reach people through song and dance.
I want to give you my personal testimony as a mother, what I've gone through.
And personal stories are used to educate people about HIV. Although Uganda is one of the poorest countries in the world, since 1993, the rate of new HIV infections here has decreased by 50%. But according to Dr. Peter Mugeni, a national leader in the war against AIDS, success is relative.
Although the new cases of HIV has been falling in Uganda, they are still at such a high level which would frighten any of the developed countries if they had that kind of level in their own countries.
At this private clinic, only the African elite can afford. Dr. Mugeni says he sees at least 15 new AIDS cases a day. Even though these patients are considered rich by Ugandan standards, most of them still can't afford the antiviral drugs needed to survive.
I see patients who come to see me, whom I am very sure would survive and live useful lives, and I see them dying simply because they cannot afford antiretroviral therapy.
Patients like Simon can't afford to buy a month's supply, so they buy drugs one dose at a time, saying they would rather die tomorrow than today.